Hello everybody, my name is Jeroen van der Holst and today I will talk about the digital product passport and the ETIM. Is it a perfect match or are we opposites? First of all, what is ETIM? ETIM is a product classification for technical products. It's a worldwide standard. ETIM International manages that standard. It also has a standard for product data exchange. Our classification system comprises of more than 6,000 classes, 20,000 individual features, and we are not only active in the electrical industry, but also in four other technical sectors: HVAC and plumbing, building materials, tools and hardware, and site supplies, and also shipbuilding. We are represented currently in 21 countries. We have more than 3 decades of experience. If you look at this standard globally and you look at the usage of our database, our standard is open and free to use for everybody. You see that our Google Analytics data shows that we are used across more than 150 countries by more than 30,000 individual users. And we are implemented in an uncountable number of software applications. So, today we are going to talk about digital product passport, the new buzzword. Everybody's talking about it, but as we noticed this morning in the poll, not everybody knows exactly what it is, why it is there, and how we can use it and when it is needed. So we're going to explain that a little bit to you. We are also going to explain what the role is of ETIM International in this whole thing and what role EUEW should play. Why are we doing this? Why is the EU so keen on this digital product passport? It's to stop greenwashing. There are so many labels. They have a page on greenwashing. They've done some research, and they say that 53% of green claims give vague, misleading, or unfounded information. 40% of the claims have no supporting evidence. Half of all the green labels offer weak or non-existent verification, and there are more than 230 sustainability labels with vastly different levels of transparency. As a consumer, you have no idea what to make of that. So they've come up with an action plan. They decided to replace the Eco Design Directive with the ESPR framework regulation. That's European Sustainable Products Regulation, which is a horizontal framework for that comprises of multiple regulations. For instance, green public procurement, the destruction of unsold consumer products, but also a digital product passport. So we now have a regulation in place that is requiring product industries to make sure that there will be digital product passports in place. And these digital product passports are defined for each and every single industry or product category by delegated acts, which is basically eco-design requirements as we know from the past, with a roadmap also already in place that for next year the DPP for batteries up to of more than 2 kilovolts will become effective, and after that they will continue with electronics, textiles, and automotives. What they would like to achieve, this is part of European Green Deal and the Circular Economy Action Plan. What they would like to achieve is make sure that environmental claims are scientifically proven. And Most likely the LCA EPD methodology is the legally acceptable tool. So what is a life cycle assessment? That's a methodology for assessing environmental impacts associated with all the stages of the life cycle of a product or service. So that means that they would like to have data on the impact in every stage of the life cycle for every product. How is that being distributed? So all the results of this methodology is a matrix of data, which is called an environmental product declaration. It's a standardized and verified document that summarizes the environmental performance of a product's life cycle. The EPDs are generated according to specific standards. There are a number of standards in place. The most important ones that I would like to mention is the EN 15804, which is about the content of EPD, which data points are we talking about, and the EN 22057, which is the template structure of the EPD. There are many EPD operators active in the world at the moment. And they can use these standards, the EN standards, but also they have started before there were standards, and they did as best as they can. This has created a little bit of discrepancy between the interoperability of the data of these various EPD operators. So EPDs from one operator is different from an EPD from another. That's a big debate going on, and there's a strong will to further standardize this, so you can exchange EPD data and then you can compare them. So this is an example of what this EPD data could look like. So as I said, there are a couple of data points being required, like global warming potential or acidification potential of land and water, eutrophication potential. These are all very technical data points that you can have calculated by these EPD and LCA operators. So this is the data set we're talking about. There's also a role for construction products regulation. As you may commonly know, it's the framework of regulations that regulates the contents of declarations of performance or CE markings, which has delegated acts where it harmonizes and standardizes measuring methods for all kinds of values. So this will also play a role in here. So what is actually a digital product passport? Until now, nobody exactly knows, because the details are being created as we speak by the Joint Technical Committee 24 of CEN-CENELEC. They have been requested by the EU to develop the technical standards for digital product passport at the moment. I've been asked to share my expertise last week within one of the working groups, and what I have learned there is that they are facing a number of challenges at the moment because they want to have whatever we define as the digital product passport to be vendor and technology neutral. It should be based on federative data sharing, and they are considering interoperability with existing classification systems. And that is actually good news, especially for me, being the community director of ETIM. And that's also very common sense, good sense, because why would you create something that's already there? So we are following this closely and we are participating where we can. The role of ETIM in this whole environmental data stuff is limited, I must say, because we are not experts on eutrophication of the planet or acidification of the oceans. This is not our cup of tea. We simply don't have the knowledge and experience to be a part in those discussions. But what we can do is once the market has a consensus of what kind of data needs to be provided from A to B, then we come in and our job is to make sure that we standardize the exchange of that data. So we are much involved in the automated exchange of the data. But somebody else will have to tell us what. And ETIM data can be used for many purposes. Not only for environmental product declarations, but also for declarations of performance, for digital product passports in the future. But very common, it is used for e-commerce systems, for filling ERP systems, whatever. So ETIM classification already holds a lot of environmental technical features for specific products. That's what classification is about. Technical features, specific features for specific products. As an example, halogen-free according to EN IEC 60754-1 is a logical Boolean feature that is used in many luminaire classes in our system. It's already there. And it's the result of our working groups with experts from the industry that know the regulations that are becoming effective, and as soon as they do, they will hand in their change requests with us and we will make sure that it will be implemented. We also have exchange format, ETIM Exchange. It's relatively new. It's been launched in February this year, and it's a JSON format where you can exchange more than only the specific technical features within ETIM. It is capable of exchanging a complete set of product data, which you could might as well call a digital product passport. And it also comprises many data fields that belong to regulations such as REACH, ROSE, ADR, WEEE, SDS, SCIP. But also these new EPD data can be exchanged within this exchange format. Besides that, we have a dedicated working group on sustainability and circularity data. It started in the beginning of 2024. This working group is manned by sustainability managers of many large companies and trading associations that work with us in the ETIM community. So we have the top-notch experts in Europe that advise us on how to steer our organization to make sure that we are compatible with any regulation that is being thrown at us. So just to for the example, the EPD data, as we can see here, according to EN 15804, we've managed to make this data matrix exchangeable through our JSON format. So this is a screenshot of our JSON schema. We're not going to go through it technically, but just so you know that we are ready for that. So what can the EUEW do to contribute to standardization? Make sure that you have one voice for European-wide implementation of EU standards for EPDs, such as these EN 18504 and EN 22057. Of course, that you adopt to ETIM product classification and ETIM exchange as a standard. I know that a lot of you do. ETIM exchange is fairly new, so I really hope that you will look into this new exchange standard. And also that you participate in working groups for delegated acts from the EU to ensure that the alignment with ETIM's classification model is taking place. And also if there are new data points being required by these delegating acts, that we're informed through our working groups to change our ETIM model accordingly. And of course, last but not least, if you don't do that yet, if you're not yet an ETIM member, please become an ETIM member, actively support our work by joining through a membership. It's not it's a very solid investment, I would say, that will make sure that whatever regulation is becoming effective can be included in the ETIM standards. Thank you for listening to me, and hopefully we'll see you next time.